Okay, good afternoon everybody and welcome to St George's Park for this media conference ahead of tomorrow's game between England and Senegal at the City Ground, joined by England head coach Thomas Tuchel, and we'll get underway when you're ready with Rob Dorsett from Sky Sports News.
Hey Thomas, good to see you.
Thank you, same.
You were clearly frustrated by the performance and at times the attitude of the players against Andorra, you said, but what have the players said to you since? Have they kind of accepted that it fell well short of their own very high expectations?
Yeah, I think that was common sense even in the straight after in the dressing room and on our way back. Common sense, we all shared the same feeling that we could have done better. There are always two sides of the medals, so even in a performance and when you're emotional and you don't like the performance and then how we played, we also have to look at the side where we created an XG of 4. So if we look at other top-tier sides who played against Andorra, we created more XG than them, but we underperformed in converting, and we underperformed in converting chances, in being clinical, in the efficiency, and in the accuracy in our chances. We underperformed clearly in the physical input into the game, which we could see on the sideline, but could also see on the data. So we simply ran not enough. Clearly, I know that it's a deep block. I know that it's a 5-4-1 for the third time. To break down a well-organized team is always difficult. It will always be difficult. It becomes more and more difficult because teams, even lower teams, become more and more organized, better and better drilled. But even then, to have the physical input in possession, to have more high-intensity runs, to have more counter movements, more acceleration, deceleration, we were lacking that, and this is basically what we all felt. So no harm done. I mean, that's why we are here. We're critical with our performance. We were. There were some things like if we had a better result, if we had the same performance and we had a 4-0, maybe everyone would have felt differently. But if you don't have it, you accept the criticism. We have high demands to ourselves. So what did we do? What's the conclusion? We stay committed to our beliefs and committed to training. What we did yesterday was excellent performance and an excellent attitude in training. We watched tennis together, then we watched football together. It's good atmosphere. We're ready to go again on Wednesday, on Tuesday, and we are ready to have a good training session.
I think we in the media, and I suspect the England fans as well, really appreciate how honest and direct you are in the way that you speak. You know, if it wasn't good enough, you say it wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
That's not always the case with football managers. They often protect their players an awful lot. How did the players take it?
But I think also I protect my players. I said no names of players, and it's not an individual matter, but we as a team, we simply didn't match our own standards. And like I said, I didn't like the last 10 minutes because I felt at the sideline that we didn't play serious enough to win it in the end, what we needed to do in a World Cup qualifier. What I tell you, I already told before the team directly. So there are no messages that I give via a press conference. Everything I say here, I already said to the players. And why should we sugarcoat it? Why should I mean, you have been in the stadium. Why should I tell you that we had a good game and we are happy with what we did if we're not happy? So I think there's no harm done. We can handle criticism, and I always strongly believe that a group of football players, a team in football can speak honest to each other. I always include myself. It's always a we message that we try to give, and now it's on us to do better. The attitude towards training, the attitude in camp, the commitment of the players was outstanding. Everybody wanted to be there. Everybody wanted to be involved. Everybody wanted to start. We really wanted to play. They wanted to play this game, and then got a little bit stuck. We take our analysis from this and try to do better, of course.
You had a lot of goals and aims in this camp. It wasn't just about a World Cup qualifier against Andorra. Of course, that was the focus at the end of that week in Spain. but you got some warm weather training, you got to bond with the players and spend some time with them, and you got to do some specific preparation for next summer as well, with the heat training and that sort of thing. So how did the rest of the camp go from your perspective? Was it the only time you could have done it and really vital for you?
You know, I liked, like I said, I liked the commitment. I liked, again, the spirit. I liked that everybody was committed to come. I love that everybody was committed to stay, even for a friendly match, and even that there is a Club World Cup going on and they come off a long season. But it felt a little bit like a pre-season a week, players coming from holidays. And not in terms of that they don't do enough, but in terms of like the passing is not precise enough, the finishing is a bit like off from the precision because you lack simply rhythm. This is what we could see already in training, and unfortunately it was a continuation in the game. Like I said, we have an XG of 4. It's very unlikely for the quality of the players and for our players to underperform with 1 goal if we have an XG of 4. It is in a game like this more likely that we overperform, but the rhythm was simply not there. So yeah, the players were committed. The energy was absolutely the energy that we wanted, and it continued like this. Like even after, why should we be disconnected now? Why should we be less committed now if we have like 1 game with which we were not so happy? There are parts of the game were totally okay, like the first half an hour where we created a lot of chances and could have made life easy for us, but we didn't. So we accept it and continue, keep the belief up and believe in what we are doing and players do excellent so far.
Can you give us an idea of the changes in personnel you're considering for what I think you'll agree is probably a much tougher game against Senegal? And has that performance against Andorra changed any of your plans going into this?
It always does. It always does, because you always the next game is the most difficult game, and this is the game where we have our conclusions from, and then we react, of course, to this game. You react to injuries, you react to minor problems, you react to performances, and then we build a team for tomorrow. There will be some changes, I will not let you know how many of them, but there will be changes because we want to see the players. We want to reward players who kept the level up now yesterday, which is always a crucial day for me in how is the energy, how is the quality in the match day +1, even in a match day +1 when the game was not so good, like how do we go out and train and react, which was excellent yesterday. So yeah, we see some fresh legs, we will see some new faces, tough opponent, very physical opponent, high quality individually. They play in top clubs throughout the whole team, throughout the whole pitch. There's high level quality, a lot of intensity, very physical team. They love to play and run. So we will have to match that, and looking forward to it. I'm happy that we have this kind of caliber. I'm happy to play in Nottingham City ground, and we're looking forward to it.
Hello, Thomas. Ian from the BBC. Do you think you learnt more from a 1-0 win and the way that they struggled towards the end than maybe had you won convincingly 4-5-0 at the weekend?
Not sure. I would have preferred the other way, but yeah, it is like this. Like, and in the end, like I said, there's also we kept 3 clean sheets. We have 3 wins in 3 matches, so there's no reason to only look at the negative side of things. In the emotion after the match, we were very critical, which is also fair enough and maybe also good to improve. We have takeaways. It is a learning at the moment. I think today will be our 11th training session together. This is basically 1.5 weeks in club football in the pre-season. So here it is half a year. So we need to worship training. We need to worship every minute in matches. And of course we learned stuff without exaggerating and without over-interpreting. But yeah, clearly it's good to see the players in tight situations, like also in moments where things are not so easy. So yeah, we learn from. In the moment, it's a big learning, of course.
The 11 training sessions certainly offers context. When will we see, though, the brand of football that you're happy with? Are you impatient? Do you want it to happen now?
I'm very impatient, which is not always a good thing. I'm always impatient because you step out into a stadium, even if maybe the fixture itself is for the players after a season, after big season, after big finals, after European finals, after fighting for Champions League places in the biggest league, is maybe not the most exciting fixture. But like for me personally, once I step into a good stadium, once I see the grass, I smell the grass, I see 7,000 English supporters there ready to go, I'm instantly on, and I'm instantly like expecting something, of course, from myself and from the players. So and it will be the same for tomorrow. Of course, I'm impatient, and we want to do better. We are thinking of giving the players maybe a little bit more freedom within the structure. Let's see. Still think it was a very offensive structure, a very offensive lineup that we tried to break the line down. Tomorrow we face a more physical, a more demanding team, and we will maybe in the first look at the on paper not be as offensive as we were against Andorra, but maybe give the player a little bit more freedom to express themselves, and hopefully we see the next step maybe straight away on Tuesday.
Who is the captain on Tuesday?
Is very likely that it's the same captain.
Okay. In that case, then, could you talk to me about Bukayo Saka? Because he's yet to play under you. So how excited are you by the prospect of Bukayo Saka?
Very excited, because I could see that he worked hard to come back from his injury, had then this minor discomfort in the last match, which worried me a little bit, and then he just had one training session with us, a full training session and one half training session on Thursday, Friday before the match. So we decided in the end to protect myself a little bit, to not let him play, not be in the squad, to not take any risk. But he is happy. He trains with a smile. He had yesterday amazing training session with a lot of quality. He will start tomorrow, and of course he's a key player for us.
Afternoon, Thomas. I wondered if you and the players watched the Nation League final last night.
Yeah.
And obviously not only Spain and Portugal, but France and Germany. What were your thoughts on the tournament and obviously the standard of the teams?
France-Germany was in the preparation to our training, so that was not possible to watch it together, just some bits of it. But we were, like I said, we watched. We took the possibility to watch the final together, which is always nice, because that's what it's all about in camp. You share your opinions on a match, you hear them talk, and be invested in that. We also had the chance just before dinner to watch the last set of last 1.5 sets of tennis together, which was also amazing in inspiration of two amazing players playing the final in Paris. Yeah. It was high level again in the final, high level football, high quality football. I was feeling a bit concerned and sad for the players that they had to play an extra time. I thought they go straight into penalties after a long season, and then it came another half an hour into their legs. But I think the first 45 minutes were excellent. Then the game, I could see that the players get a bit tired and the level dropped a little bit, not a lot, but yeah. It was high level. Portugal won. Congratulations to Roberto and his team. So they have another title, and we hope to compete for Final Four and in the Final Four the next time it's played.
Is that the standard, though? How are you looking at the standard of the two teams in the final? Is that something to aim for, or is it something you're chasing? How do you see England against those two teams? Yeah.
Yes, that's the standard. That's the level. That's the benchmark, and we will try to hunt that, and we try to reach that. And I'm convinced that we have everything what it takes to match that when we play these teams, even if it maybe didn't look like that on Saturday between 6 and 8 o'clock. But in general, I'm absolutely convinced that we have everything what it takes to compete on exactly that level.
Thank you very much, Thomas.
Finish back with Rob.
Is everybody fit for selection? Have you got 25 players you can pick from?
Yeah, Everyone is fit.
And can I ask about Ivan Toney? You brought him back from Saudi Arabia. I presume you'd like to try and see him at some point on the pitch.
Yes, of course. Let's see, because also what the game demands. First of all, it was the most important that we get to know him as a personality and how he interacts with the group, and what he can show us in training, which was pretty clear that what he can do. He's a goal scorer. He's a player that loves to play in and around the opponent's box, and preferably in the box, with 1 or 2 touches to finish the attacks off. Let's see what the game brings. Let's see what the demands are. But he has every chance to play, of course, like everyone else. We have one more training session. He did very well with the others yesterday, and we have all the options with Ivan.
Last one from me. Thank you for that. A lot of the players we've talked about the Club World Cup, a lot of them are going to be heading away immediately after this game tomorrow night with Senegal. And you've made it clear, very little time with the players. You need every minute you can get with them, so England has to come first. Will that workload for those particular players who are going away come into your thinking at all tomorrow?
Yeah, it will be. It did already, and it will be in our thinking for the players. But we will not forget also what we want to have and we want to see. And I think this is there's no problem in it.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Cheers.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
Thanks, Tom.